welcome Adelaide, and thank you so much for your time. Adelaide, you were sent to me by your GP back in May of 2017, and if I can just read out simply what he said, it was she's got chronic pelvic pain, and she was wondering about pelvic congestion syndrome, and it would benefit from your assessment. So perhaps I can let you now tell me what your symptoms were at the time.
Okay. My pain started with my first pregnancy. At around the 15-week mark, I started to get lots of pain in my pelvis and my lower back. And as pregnancy progressed, it got worse and worse. I did mention it to my obstetrician and midwives, but it was told that it's quite normal to feel pain. I just carried on as per normal. After the birth of my first child, the pain remained for a good year. It never went away. I had physio, but nothing ever stopped it. And then I fell pregnant with my second child, and the pain was so bad, I ended up on crutches for the last 2 months of that pregnancy because I couldn't walk. I was in that much pain, and by pain I mean I was having shooting pains coming up from my groin on my left side. It would radiate down and into my groin, up through the back of my hips into my lower back. It was absolutely excruciating. And again, after my second child's birth, expected pain to go away, and it didn't. It actually got worse. It was to the point I could hardly walk. I couldn't push my child in a pram, couldn't push a shopping trolley full of food. I had to get assistance every single day, which I was very lucky I had. Just to even function, I just couldn't do basic human tasks that we all take for granted. So because of this, that started my journey of doing lots of reading, lots of research. I needed to understand exactly where my pain was coming from. I saw multiple GPs, specialists. I had MRIs, X-rays, CT scans done. I was told time and time again, there is nothing wrong with you. You're healthy. Your pain will go away. Take some more medication. I went and saw one of the top leading gynecologists who took a look at me, assessed me, and told me that I needed a mental health plan. So that was pretty upsetting. That was the final straw that broke me in the end. I just said, I can't do this anymore. It really affected my mental health to the point I wasn't sleeping because I couldn't lie down for very long, so I hardly slept. I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit. But I was absolutely refusing to accept that I was being told that this is all in my head or this condition will just get better over time. So it was many hours research in the middle of the night, and researching anything I could do to do with lower abdomen pain, lower back pain, because at that stage I hadn't really thought about pelvis as a whole thing, and it wasn't really until I put that word into the Google search that endovascular came up, and I clicked on pelvic congestion syndrome because it was something I'd never heard of, and I literally burst into tears when I read all the symptoms of it because I thought, oh my God, this is me. This is finally me. I finally have a name for this pain that I'm in, that I'm experiencing every single day, is excruciating pain.
Would I be correct in saying that this pain was something new that you experienced, say, during and after pregnancy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was there any period of time between the first and the second pregnancy where this pain went away?
No, not once. It got worse and worse and worse.
In terms of the nature, you described the pain to me. Was there any cyclical nature to this pain? Did it occur at certain times during a day or week or month? Was it associated with anything?
Yeah, so it would always progressively get worse as the day wore on because I was always on my feet looking after my kids. So finding I was constantly leaning on benches by the end of the day to kind of ease the pain in my pelvis or just take some pressure off. Nighttime was really bad because lying down, I couldn't lie down properly. I'd have to keep moving, and removing in bed hurt so much. So yeah, it was constant there, but yes, definitely by the end of the day, it was and nighttime it was really, really bad.
You might have mentioned some of those symptoms to your GP or to your doctors at the time, because there's a lot of tests that were done here that I look back through your notes that you were investigated for rheumatoid and for ankylosing spondylitis, and you had all of these tests done to look for a potential bony cause even for your pain.
Yeah, I was definitely, I was just adamant I needed to be tested for absolutely everything, because it couldn't be nothing. And like I said, I just refused to accept that there was nothing wrong with me and that I was perfectly healthy.
Is there pain either during or after intercourse or with orgasm?
Yeah, I couldn't have sex. It was just beyond painful, like any insertion of anything, like even with the physio, when I had internal physio done too, it was absolutely excruciating. Just couldn't do it. So yeah, my relationship suffered because of it.
What was the reaction from your GP as to what to do next?
Well, the initial GPs I saw sent me for testing, but couldn't really give me an answer. I didn't really know what was happening. It wasn't until I made my own discovery online that I sourced out a new GP and basically begged her to give me a reference to come and see you. So yeah, she was quite open and had briefly heard of pelvic congestion syndrome and could read like all my past history and said, yeah, let's try this. There has to be an answer. So that was really helpful.